Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and today I've got a casual shoe review for you in the shape of the Jordan 35 DNA. So an initial review coming up for you on this one, a casual shoe review. Typically on this channel I review running shoes and gear, apparel, equipment, that kind of thing. But you may have stumbled here wondering what the hell's going on. I like to put my own brand on my running shoe reviews, but today we're looking at this one. There's elements of the Sony Discman, I think, here. Actually, on the whole, it does look a little bit like a games console, which is a weird thing to say about a shoe. I'm always interested in how basketball shoe technology translates across to running shoes. Especially with Nike, we've seen lots of crossover in recent years. I mean, look at the LeBron 17, for example. This is the Command Force version, which featured those Zoom Airpods. Very similar to their implementation in the Nike Tempo Next Percent. Quite a bit lighter though, this one, compared to the LeBron 17. There's certainly a lot of DNA in the new Jordan 35 that comes from the Jordan 5. When I was about 10 years old, I wanted this shoe more than anything in the world, and it took me about 30 years to get it. I've been rocking this one all over the summer and really enjoying it. But you gotta say, it is quite a heavy shoe. I mean, 670 grams is no joke. I mean, you're talking 1 pound, 7.6 ounces. That's a lot of weight. I mean, the LeBron's about 100 grams lighter in my UK size 11, US size 12. A little more like it though with the Jordan 35 DNA. This one comes in at 464 grams, which is 1 pound, 0.4 of an ounce in my UK size 11, US size 12. So a considerably lighter shoe than that Jordan 5. Although it does borrow quite a few visual and aesthetic quirks from that shoe. You certainly see the tongue here has some real similarities to the one in the Jordan 5. Not anywhere near as padded though. There's some considerable padding here in the Jordan 5 Fire Red. In fact, everything about the shoe is just minimised, you can see there. There's still quite a lot of padding here, but nowhere near as much as the Jordan 5. Another thing about the Jordan 35 that nods to the Jordan 5 is those mesh panels on the side here. They appear on the medial and lateral sides as per the Jordan 5. In fact, there's a number of features with this shoe that remind me of a running shoe Nike released a couple of years ago. That shoe is the Nike Zoom Pegasus 35 Turbo. I mean, to start with, that front stripe down the middle, very reminiscent of the Turbo. Here it is here. I remember this shoe very well. I think I put a couple of 100 miles into this one and it's still holding up strong. Maybe I could take it out again soon. Yeah, here we go with that front stripe. And I think the side panels here on the Jordan 35 really do remind me of those fly wires that were featured on the Pegasus Turbo. They had them on both the medial and lateral sides here and created a really good lockdown over the top of the foot. I find the lockdown in this shoe far better than that of the Jordan 5, and actually I'd suggest better than the LeBron 17. I mean, we're talking about the Jordan 5, a shoe that was designed, over 30 years ago. The flight wires here and those suede panels really do help to pull the upper of the shoe across the foot and create a superb lockdown. So certainly similar tech that's used between the Pegasus 35 Turbo and a few other Nike shoes recently and the Jordan 35. Quite a different midsole carrier here though to the Pegasus 35 Turbo. No Zoom X or React. Probably a little bit too soft for the purpose that this shoe's intended for. We have Phylon here in the midsole. Last time I saw Phylon used in a running shoe was within the midsole of the Nike Zoom Streak. I think the Phylon's going to be far more durable than the Zoom X, and if you're using this one to play basketball rather than for a casual use, then I think you're going to want that durability. It's quite a bit higher in terms of density, this midsole material. More of a carrier here. Now there are two Zoom Airpods built into this shoe, one in the forefoot and one in the heel. That front bag does seem to have about 4 sections to it, and initially when I got the shoe I thought that you could actually see them through there, but I don't believe this is an accurate representation of the bag whatsoever. I do really like that icy blue outsole on the Jordan 35. You can see both of the bags through the eclipse plate here. It is completely open. Does remind me again a little bit of the Alpha Fly and the Tempo Next Percent. We're seeing more and more shoes from Nike with this completely open section in the middle of the shoe. Possibly to try and save more and more weight. Certainly has worked with the Jordan 35. This feels so ridiculously light compared to those basketball shoes. Again here we've got part of the outsole, midsole carved away on the Tempo Next Percent. I think that's what they're trying to do here, is just relieve a tiny bit of the weight in the Jordan 35. Maybe the implementation of the eclipse plate here will be something that we'll see in running shoes in the future. I have to be honest, the Pegasus 37 released this year from Nike with that 4-foot airbag really didn't work that well for me. Although that did utilise the React midsole carrier, I wasn't too keen on it. Though I did like the Zoom airbag with a more responsive foam like the one featured in the Pegasus 35 and the 36. I believe that was Cushlon. I do think that eclipse plates here to provide a bit of support on the lateral side is something that we keep seeing on running shoes, but in the midsole where they've got a bit of a fin that kind of comes out of the lateral side. New Balance have commonly used that recently. I've got to say, outsole wise, that herringbone grip is really good. I do hope Nike utilise something like this in some of their running shoes. Outsole's been really off actually in most of the non-plated shoes over the last year. I like the outsole on the Tempo Next Percent and the Alpha Fly, but on some of the other stuff I've tried, it just hasn't lived up to the expectation. There's some really great grip here actually with that herringbone outsole on the 35. Adidas and New Balance really are top of the tree in terms of outsole, so there's certainly room for improvement there, Nike. On foot, these come in true to size to me. I've got a UK 11 here, US size 12. Retail is 162 Earth credits. Although I was lucky to pick them up in the members sale, 25% off. I was actually quite amazed that Nike allowed this shoe to go into that member sale. So at 121, I was quids in. Those shiny side panels certainly remind me of a Sony Discman. I really love the little Nike Air tag on the back, which has the Jumpman on the reverse side. Those who want some real support in the heel will find quite a considerable heel counter. There really is some rigidity there. Overall, I think these look great once I got them in hand. It was a colourway I really wanted to get, and I didn't hesitate when I saw them pop up on the UK Nike website. So I'll be rocking these casually for a little while. I'll give you an update in the near future. If you've got any questions at all on the Jordan 35 DNA, let me know in the comments below. On the channel, we always have a musical interlude at the end, and today's episode is no exception. A little while back, I sold my Technics 1200s that I'd had for almost 20 years. It was the most foolish thing probably that I've ever done. And whenever I want to remember about those beautiful turntables that I sold, I always put some DJ Qbert on. Wave Twisters episode 7 million is my favourite of his releases. There's many releases, in fact. DJ Qbert is a turntable genius, a man able to produce sounds from turntables that you've never heard, breaking new ground always. And he's such a nice dude as well, always coming with fresh, amazing beats that complement his turntable skills as well on top. It's kind of like he creates these wonderful beats that are the cake, and then he layers all of his skills on top as the icing. Does that make sense? Sonic Wars within the Protons demonstrates his use of brilliant effects as well, added to the turntable sounds. Just little bits of delay, little bits of reverb, just makes all the difference. Kind of creates sounds using the turntables like an instrument, but with an infinite array of different tones. If you've never experienced DJ Qbert before, I suggest you go and check him out. I really like listening to these on runs where I just have absolutely no pace or speed in mind, where I'm just out there enjoying myself. DJ Qbert always does the trick. Something a little different for you today. You know, I like to surprise you. Hope you've enjoyed the initial review of the Jordan 35 today. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when we launch those new videos. Helps this channel out a lot as well if you give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you